All right, beautiful. I think we are up and running. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Everyone on stuff to start with. Post this into tier 4 chat as well. Tier 4 blue. What I'm doing. Yep. Put that in. Alright. Hello. Tuesday night. Well, Tuesday afternoon comms. Fairly random timing. Straight up. Finally got a little bit of time to do it. Opened up a door or two so I can actually get this round done, and then we can well, we won't be doing a second round today because as soon as I come off of this I will be preparing Champions Cup stuff. The draft lottery for that is later on tonight, so got to get ahead with that. So you're only going to get one today, but given the fact that we are what, 3 rounds behind up to this point. 3 rounds behind this now, so you can potentially get one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Might try and do a couple. Well, probably will get caught up this weekend. I just don't know whether or not it'll be one each day or both back to back or whatever. My aim is to get caught up by the time eSports finishes on Sunday night. Chuck Norris to second place. No idea. For those unaware of the championship standings from last time, Jin is in control of the championship up to this point. I reckon he might be about to increase that. If given the look of what is happening through qualifying here, the qualifying, we'll go on through the grid in a minute or two here, and then we'll get going. My aim is to have this done, hopefully, for 5 o'clock. But yeah. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday afternoon. I've had a fairly decent day. Got uni finishes at 1:15, so every day was like that. It would be perfect, but you know. Need a drink real quick before I end up choking. I'm not entirely sure what I'm choking on, but I'm apparently choking. No slipping, no bump drafting at all in your qualifying lap. Fair enough. Must put on a clinic at qualifying then. Yeah. We will get going now then. We've got just over the 5-minute mark, so we've had enough time for people to join us. If they want to join us, they can join us as we go along. So Jin on pole position here. We've got Chuck in the Ferrari, I believe that is, in second. Then we've got Andre in third in the Lamborghini. McLaren in fourth. The MR's just apparently in cruise control at the front of the grid, apart from Jin. Hey, Major in 5th, Bendit in 6th in the Lexus. You got Bluebeard in 7th, Bruschetti in 8th. And you got Radiate in 9th in the second of, I believe that is I can't remember what Radiate's in. Let's display the car names. Yeah, it's a Supra. Okay. I'm not losing my mind, I promise. Then we got Juho in No One Likes Teamwork in... Oh, no. Oh, God, this is going to be infuriating to watch then. Juho in 10th in the Merc, then a teammate in 11th as well. The Merc in the back at the moment. Monken in 12th. We got 13th for Tetropolis in the Alpha. Slabman, the second of the Alphas. First time this season we've got both Alphas on the grid. In 14th, and then Janik is at the back of the grid in the Audi. Everyone on softs. Yep, Daytona not a particularly high tyre wear track by any means. But with that being said, let's get going then. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's lights on, away we go, all the way down toward turn 1. Here with Jin, who gets a good start, better than the Ferrari as well. Chuck is going to have to go the long way around if he wants to try and make a move on that Jaguar. He's really not going to be able to do much off the start. And Jin takes the lead into turn 1 still then. Andre, oh, we've got the first collision of the day, straight away. We're going to have to go straight back to this, get a good camera angle on this one. I think this was the McLaren straight into the back of the Lamborghini. Yeah, it was. Andre just unable to save the car. Major's going to get both of them. Major up in the third then. Grew ahead of Bluebeard, who's got 2 on his on the first corner of the lap here as well. Then you got Bendit in 6th. Grew might be about to suffer the Bluebeard, who's got up in the third now. In the Aston Martin, a good start for the British driver. What else is a good start? Beaumont up from 11th to 6th. And also Tetropolis from 13th. All the way. Oh, there goes Beaumont on the inside of Bruschetti and on Bendit. And Tetropolis is going to push him through. Tetropolis giving him a massive helping hand there. And Bendit down the inside just pushing his way through. Not entirely sure that's the way you're meant to overtake. Got Beaumont on the outside now, that's the issue. Beaumont being on this outside is going to give him a lot of problems. The slipstream and the bump draft is necessary. It looks like Juho's delivery hasn't loaded up for some reason. I may have to go and delete some more space. In a short while, it just won't be today, so you won't. But as we continue on here, bus stop for the first time today then. The top 3 have already cleared from the rest of the pack. Juho ahead of Beaumont. Beaumont not getting a particularly good run out of that bus stop chicane in the slightest, and Juho has cleared a little bit of a gap now. Actually quite a substantial gap, that might be over the 1 second already. Got Tetropolis in 9th, Monken in 10th, Radiate in 11th, J-Nick in 12th, then you got Major in 13th, who's dropped all the way down. I'm not entirely sure why some people's deliveries are no longer loading. Major dropped all the way down then. Not entirely sure what happened to him. Back forward anyway. Jin followed by Chuck Norris, who almost looked to the inside there. Might continue to try to look to the inside on Jin. Doesn't get it in turn 4. Head up toward turn 5, the end of the first sector. And the second of the hairpins here, turn 6. Not able to move too fruitful here for Chuck Norris, who now gets a little bit alongside, who had done for a split second. Now switches back to the inside. Probably should have just sat behind him and got a better run out of this corner, because then he can actually try and challenge this. But it doesn't look like there's going to be an awful lot of teamwork here today. A Bluebeard and then Grew in 4th, clear of Bender in 5th, who's seemingly in no man's land right now. The second either side of him, Bruschetti in 6th, Juho in 7th, Beaumont and Tetropolis. Tetropolis should be ducking underneath. They've got to get right underneath as much as you can. Stay in the slipstream, use the bump draft. Well, it looks like Radiate might be going for that from a long way back. Had to back out of it once he realised what Tetropolis was doing. I think he may have his own teammate on the back of him now. 4 or 5 cars very much in the fight. In a train here in the back of the track at Daytona. Loudman down in 50, really not enjoying his time at the moment. Chuck Norris still on the back of Jin, trying to get into a position to lead this race. See if he can try and snatch a victory off Jin. They come through here on the inside for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris might be going for this. Can he get the run? Both cars brilliant on acceleration. Jaguar usually has more top speed, but it's nothing on the Ferrari right now. And Chuck Norris has decided that he's going on the grass to celebrate. He gets himself into the lead of this race then. The Portuguese driver overtaking for the lead. Let's see what we've got coming up. We've got in the mid pack here, Bluebeard right up on the back of Jin already. One of the last races out was Juho after his tyres in Brazil. I don't think we're getting a repeat of that somehow. Actually, when this is not a tyre race, this will be a fuel race in the feature. But now it's just a dead sprint to the line. The top 5 well and truly pulled away from the rest of the pack. And right now that Ferrari is still the one leading. The Jaguar is going to get the slipstream and a lot more speed. This is going to be a rough time for that Ferrari. Is Jin going to work together with him to try and assert a bit of a gap again? He keeps looking to the outside. I'm not entirely sure I'd be doing that, to be completely honest with you. And Chuck just hangs on the inside. Jin just needs to be a little bit more assertive, realistically. He's got to make his decision. He's got to stick with it. He looks very indecisive down the straight there. Looks like Bluebeard might be picking up on it as well. He smelled blood. Can he get Jin here? The championship leader is in trouble, with a couple of positions potentially being lost here. Oh, there's collision! There's a collision between the two of them! Jin got on a lot of the grasses somehow. Manages to stay ahead, so no harm, no foul, I guess. Done a very good job of trying to hold on to position there as Jin. After a little bit of contact from the Aston Martin heading into turn 6. Well, out of turn 5, moreover. The one thing to show is certain, that fighting, instead of helping each other out, because people are allergic to that, has definitely allowed for a clear run for the Portuguese driver, but Drew may not even be waiting for that. He might go for a move here, but Bluebeard is going to take advantage of the fact that he's not boxed in for a split second before he just drops the car, and Bendit will pierce both of them. Half a second penalty for Bluebeard as expected for cutting the inside corner. Bendit tried to run both of them, but he couldn't. Quite frankly, I think he should tuck behind Grew and use the slipstream, and he finally does. It took him a long time to figure out that he should be. Oh my god, he's back out. You are aware you guys are meant to be catching Jin, right? Who is literally maybe just over a second up the road. Helping each other might have gone a long way, to be honest with you, down that entire back straight. Go through Bluebeard there in 5th now, so he dropped off to the back of the group. Here, Beaumont is in 6th, Tetropolis in 7th. We'll see if there's going to be any sort of move on here. Beaumont goes a little bit wide to protect his position. Tetropolis will swing underneath, but he's too far back for it to do it effectively. You got Monken and I think that's Radiate in 10th, in 9th there, sorry, Major back into 10th after a good start, and then then dropped all the way to the back. J-Nick sliding his car out of the corner there. Andrew's back into 13th as well. Juho right at the back of the grid now. Having issues of his own, and right now this has been one-way traffic in the last couple of laps for Chuck Norris since getting past Jin. Hasn't remotely looked backwards. And everyone else has been fighting each other too much for it to matter. Looks like we've got a bunch of battling back here then. Let's see what Beaumont's going to do. Beaumont's going to drop out of the slipstream to try and go alongside against Tetropolis with Monken, who decided to make it 3 wide. This is going to end badly. This is going to potentially end very badly. And I think they're both... I think one of them made it, but I don't think Beaumont did. We're going to get a better camera angle here. Daytona has apparently got really bad camera angles. Beaumont... Oh, it's contact that pushes him wide and off the track from Tetropolis. Monken's not going to complain. He's got a nice clean run on the Alpha now. As long as he gets this corner even remotely right, because Tetropolis didn't, and that's a push to pass. Tetropolis there, try to hang it in the inside, and just caught us straight into the side of Monken on the way through. You got to do better than that, however. You got to do better than that, Tetropolis, but he got the position, so I don't really think he cares. Here comes Beaumont to the inside here. This is going to be anticipated. Oh, she even finished the sentence before it happened, and more contact on the way through, and another push to pass that would have gone down there if it was reported to the stewards. Overzealous lunge there, that's for certain. We've just seen a couple of those start to creep in now. I don't think Monken will be too happy with the latter. Major now pushing through a Radiate. If he was to give him a bump or two here, this would be interesting against Monken. He's not going to. Radiate pulled to defend for some reason. I don't think Monken ever made it clear that he was not Monken. I don't think Major ever wanted to actually make the move there. Never came off the racing line. Let's see if there's going to be any help happening here. Surely. You can see the positions ahead, and you know there's cars behind you. There comes Radiate back to the line. Bump him. There goes Beaumont in the foreground, in the background of the pitch, and we're going to go back to this. I think we just had a moment there from Monken as well. He will take a look. Beaumont there, trying to go the long way around on Tetropolis. Tetropolis just covers him off. That is well defended for a split second, but he may have gone too deep, and he's been sold a little bit of a dummy here, potentially, by Beaumont. We will go back and check the spin in a minute. And Beaumont did send him a dummy. So back to Monken then. A lot to unpack in this one corner. Monken, oh yeah, he just dropped it. Oh, and he took his teammate! He took his teammate too! Oh, that is so unfortunate. He got his own teammate. Yep, he got his own teammate in the entire ordeal. The Slapman now goes to the inside on Radiate. Wow. Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate coming together from the two Supra drivers. And any chance of a top 10 has just fallen by the wayside now. That really was Major here still ahead of Andrew now, but Andrew is a lot closer than he was prior, and this is why you should probably actually work together, albeit not really going to be able to help each other if two cars around you are doing what they just did. Here comes Beaumont and Tetropolis. Again, defending into the bus stop chicane. Why? Anyone with any common sense knows your only overtaking spot around this track is inside that first corner or somewhere in that first sector. If you go on to this point, you should be helping each other, not hindering each other. You're losing far too much time doing so. Jesus Christ. Well, at least he's going to go for this around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to be able to get... Nope, that's so wide. That is so wide. He somehow got it! What? I need to get another look at this. How has he managed to keep the car going, never mind get the move? He stayed on the track the entire way as well. You know what? Fair play. That looked like so much more speed than you could take into that corner. Apparently I'm wrong. Well played, Tetropolis. Well then. That is not how I expected that one to unfold. Jin ahead of Bendit, and then you've got Bluebeard and Gru. We'll see whether or not there's going to be any position changes at the end. I don't think there is going to be for the lead, because Chuck Norris could crawl around these final couple of laps and probably still win from his position. He is in a very, very, very comfortable position out in front there. Bendit ahead of Bluebeard and then Gru. All these guys fighting for that third position. They may, if they get close enough together through the exit of this bus stop chicane, have a go at Jin. And that would require some teamwork for the first time this race by literally anybody on the grid. It looks like they're going to get close enough anyway. Bluebeard far behind Bendit, Gru the same. Tetropolis and Beaumont fighting their way through the final couple of corners now. And they could get away from Major if they choose to. They're not going to choose to. They're fighting on the final lap here. This is probably your last attempt at an overtake. If you can get it done, he's going to have to carry a lot more speed the long way around here, though. Tetropolis covered it off. And that is well defended from the Alpha, who had done a plethora of good moves there in that first corner. He might be under fire here into turn 4, though. Beaumont almost drove into the side of the car. There he's trying to overtake, but he does not get it. Tetropolis up ahead of Beaumont, up ahead of Major in this first sector at this point in time. The rest of the group are about to head onto the banking one last time. Tetropolis may have gone very deep there. He's still taking the late apex, so he's going to be fine nonetheless, but down the back straight, down the banking here, it might be a very different story. That's very wide for Beaumont. Here comes Major trying to fight him the entire way now. He should probably dip into slipstream at some point. Like right now. Please. There you go. He dips into the slipstream here, trying to get something to work. He drifts back out of the slipstream for some godforsaken reason. That's going to compromise his corner then, isn't it? We're going to go to the front then, because that's not going to really focus much of anything. Because it's been one man since lap 2 or 3. He did well last time out, but the Portuguese driver's going to do one better and win the sprint at Daytona. Quite handedly in the end from Jin in second, Bendit in third, Bluebeard in fourth, Gru in fifth, Tetropolis comfortably in sixth in the end. And then Beaumont ever so slightly beats out Major for 7th, and then J-Nick in 9th, Andre in 10th, Bruschetti's going to be the first out of the reverse grid in 11th, then you've got Radiate in 12th, who got sacrificed by his own teammate, who ended in 13th, and Slavman in 14th, and Juho very much at the back of the grid in this one. There you go, that is how we end the sprint. With the Portuguese Ferrari driver on top, and an insane lack of teamwork of anybody trying to get any sort of position whatsoever. You know, it becomes incredible. Every single time I watch Daytona, it becomes even more incredible to me. You'd think people would realize that you're meant to try and do the track in the fastest way possible. Why was it taking so long to load up? Alright. Let's see what happens here then. We will very quickly put the display all on. See who is on what. I can imagine there's going to be a ton of medium soft runners in this race, especially if they've got the fuel to do it. The others going to be stuck with some version of hard medium or medium hard, and also they'll probably tank their way to the back in the process. So Andre on reverse grid pole here then, on medium tyres. Then you got J-Nick in second, Major in third, Beaumont in fourth, Tetropolis fifth, Grew in sixth, Bluebeard on the softs to start with here then in seventh. That is an interesting choice. Not a choice I would have made, but an interesting one nonetheless, given the fact that you're not at the front. They have to do some work to make that worth it. 8th is Bendit on the mediums. 9th and 10th is Jin and Chuck Norris, respectively, both on the mediums. Hard for Bruschetti. And this is what I was talking about. Some cars may not be able to do the tyre wear if they don't have enough fuel to go the extra lap, essentially. You need to do about 8 or 9 on the soft here to realistically make it work. So we'll see how long the fuel can go. Hard to radiate and mediums for Monken. Those two have a difference of opinion. Slavman on the softs right at the back in 14th. I'm not sure why you'd do that. And then mediums for Juho tailing the grid. So we've got 2 softs and a hard tyre outside of the rudimentary mediums for the rest of the grid. With that being said, let's go for 23 laps around Daytona. And we are off to the races here. The Greek man leading us over the line in the Lamborghini, with the Audi following that, and I believe the Z4 after that as well, as the car that Major is in. So that's the 3, and Nick, what the hell has gone on with it? Why? How? What the? Well, we get a different camera angle of this from Major's point of view. What has happened to Andrew and Jay Nick here? Our very first corner as well. Oh, it just got so wrong for basically everyone. Major also had an absolute mare of that first corner. Oh, there's more! There's more! What on earth is going on to start this one? There's somehow more in the first corner here, so we'll go on board with Andrew, who comes back on the track after going so deep in turn 1. Then J-Nick, who gets caught with Major, and then Beaumont squashed off the track. Andrew goes straight to the Mercedes. Jam had more than enough time to react to that. And now Andrew trying to go to the inside of the 2 here. He gets Bendit, I think he gets Jin as well, and Chuck gone round! Chuck has gone round, has been reset to track, and he drops to 15th. What a chaos start at the front here. Oh, we're not done either. We're not done yet either. What just happened there to Tetropolis? We went through turn 4 pretty well, got himself into 4th, ahead of Groove, ahead of Andre. And I think it may be the McLaren, it is the McLaren who gets the back of Tetropolis and says, oh my Jesus, what is going on? It is a wrecking ball after wrecking ball. That's another one. Andrew's gone a little bit deep, Jin's gone deep. Oh, Radiator and Bruschetti, let's go back to this then. Radiator and Bruschetti have come together. This is a long way back. How have you come together from here? Oh, that's a dive. That is a massive dive. What are you doing? And he is waiting, and honestly, that is probably the fairest outcome to that scenario. That is a carnage start. Oh, Brady almost came into the side of track. Trying to get back started. That is now chaos of a start. Tetropolis is back here. Now Bluebeard is here. What is going on? Oh, Bluebeard spun the car. Oh, apparently we weren't done yet. Got back onto the track. Monk has got out the way. So did Slapman as well. As he goes by, he should easily drive past. Yeah, the Jaguar catching back up to speed. The Aston Martin, sorry, catching back up to speed. Is he going to get overdone by Tetropolis here? He's had an incident of his own as well. Oh, we've got someone else cutting across the grass. Andrew's been reset. What has happened here? We go down into the first corner. Oh, Andrew, there's a turn there, mate. There is a turn there, and you're getting reset for cutting across the grass. Yep. Oh, that is unfortunate. Just missed his braking point by quite some distance. I forgot that if you're going to do that, you're going to have to take the tyre barriers to your right-hand side there. I don't really know what that first lap is, to be completely honest with you, and I don't think we're done. Here comes Bluebeard on Slapman then. What the... was that like? Did they just get an entire amount of overspeed? They got both of them. What is going on in front here? So we got Slapman, who actually gets bumped by Bluebeard. And there you go, they both did get by. Monk and a duo not working together. Slapman and Bluebeard actually did. Oh, and there goes Tetropolis again. So far off the track, he somehow avoided the tyre barriers and loses out to both Monken and duo. And now the Slapman and Bluebeard can actually go fighting for half a sector, because they actually did some work. They actually worked together. They got a bump and got past 3 people in the process. I think everything is starting to calm back down again now. That lap 1 was just an absolute mess. I think that's the best way we can describe that first lap. That was just an absolute... That was carnage. If you didn't watch that first lap, you just joined now because I just saw the numbers spike up quite a few. I would reckon it would be wise to go back and watch that first lap with the amount of incidents that just happened. Let's see if we can find any sort of battle on the chase, not on chase cam, back on cinematic camera angles then. Duo is still ahead of Tetropolis. These two are unwilling to help each other from 10th and 11th. You're not fighting for anything back here. You need to help each other to catch Monken out in front. Andre in no man's land as well. Chuck Norris is back in the 14th. Then you've got Bruschetti, and Radiator is tailed off already. Bruschetti, if he can get close enough to Chuck Norris, which I don't think he will because he's on the hard tyre, should be able to use him as help. Let's see if Tetropolis is going to go for a move. He's again out early. This is just too early to move out for a move, but he's done it before. I might be dumbfounded once again. I think he's too wide for this one though. Yep, and Juho should be able to just... He's not going to hang it in there. He's not going to close the door. Why? He's left it open. He's left it too far open, and Tetropolis has got to the inside. And Tetropolis is up ahead of Juho because Juho just did not slam that door shut. I have no idea why he didn't, but he didn't. Oh, Slabman, that's the grass. Don't want to be doing that too often with Monken directly behind you. Top two just getting a little bit of distance on Beaumont, who's got a little bit of distance on Bendit. I'm not sure if that's a second. Slipstream might start to kick in here then. We'll see if there's going to be any sort of changes to the position. They're two fighting in the back of the shot there. I believe that's Slapman and Monken. Who realistically could actually get back to the front if they work together. That front pack is not travelling too quickly right now. And all of them are a little bit too far away to get a max amount of slipstream. Bandit still ahead of Gru, still ahead of Jin, and then Bluebeard. I wonder if Bluebeard, who's already shown a willingness to work together in this feature race, might try again with Jin. He currently had the fastest lap at 1:47.1 as well. He is on the soft tyres. He's not going to go work together with Jin, and he's sending it on him. And he's gone so far wide. Let's have another look at that. I think he just forgot how over. He just got too much overspeed here. Yep, and he just couldn't get it stopped, much like we saw with Tetropolis. But Tetropolis was able to get it stopped. Oh, that's Slabman, that's not the track, and you somehow still managed to hit someone who was also off the track. Not entirely sure how you've managed that, but he overtakes him again, back into 8th. This is just carnage. Well, we're on lap 4 here, and this race just starting to settle down after what everything that was there, that lap 1. Wonder how much of a battle we're going to get for certain positions in this race. Not a lot of willingness to actually help each other at the moment. We have a 3-car train here, so Beaumont with Bendit and Gru. Bendit overtook Beaumont for 3rd. If these three could work together, they could probably work, well, they could catch up to the front two at some speed. But they're not going to. It already looks like Beaumont's willing to pull out. Can't really tell properly if this is actually working or anything. Bendit getting into that bus stop chicane. And he's still ahead of Gru and Beaumont. Gru has pulled out from behind the Beaumont. He is away. He's in a McLaren, right? The McLaren is about to hit 6th gear. The McLaren does not have a 6th gear. Not one worth talking about anyway, that's a certain. He might be pulling out here to try and go around the outside of turn 1. This could be the interesting move, but he's too far back. There's nothing really on for him. Bluebeard and Jin behind. Really could capitalize on these three not really doing anything with each other. Get themselves right onto the back of this. Oh, Bluebeard, that's a little bit deep. Little bit deep there. I think Monken has got himself ahead of Slapman. There's Tetropolis and Andre in the back of the shot as well. And then we've got Chuck Norris and Juho fighting their way through in the first sector. If Chuck Norris can get by, he might fancy his chances of getting the veteran to assist him. Or, well, he might not even get the chance to go now. Juho just parks his car right in the middle. Chuck Norris now looking to the outside. Definitely alongside now. Will he go for this? Nope, he backs out of it. That's actually probably the smart choice in this situation. Juho right on the floor of the banking. See if Chuck's going for this. He is going to go for this. He switched to the inside straight away. Switched to the inside, looking for a move on the Finnish driver. And Chuck Norris is going to get that move. He is absolutely ahead of Juho coming out the bus stop chicane as we go 3-4 cars fighting each other up front. Up in front of that battle, because Monken now overtaken by Slavman and by Tetropolis. They're going to go 2-on-2. Right now, it should be just working together to try and get themselves in a position to be bumped, but they're not doing that. And Andri's going to follow through with Tetropolis, and we've got collisions for days trying to understand what has happened here. Tetropolis had the advantage that they go through into turn 1. Slavman well to the inside. Oh, and he got sandwiched between the green. Well, I'm not entirely sure how Andrews managed to. That's physics. Can someone go and call physics? It wants its laws back. Oh, that's too deep. That's far too deep. You're not even. Yeah, I'd say you're going to be well off the track by the time you get on. Slavman has no reason to give you the space back. And Slavman will hold on to 10th now then. Andri somehow defied the laws of physics to get himself his 9th place right now, and then decides that the next corner is too deep for him. Very interesting scenario going on right now. In the middle of the pack, the front not really doing an awful lot. We'll go actually have a look at 2 or 3 drivers in a second. Looks like Andri's going to have a real run here on Tetropolis. He's going to bump him, or is he? No, he's just going to go to the inside. It looked like he was going to bump him for a split second there, Tetropolis. On a much later line. Oh, and Andri just killed him. Andri's just straight up hit him. Either way, he's just tanked 3 other cars here. We're going to get a second view of this. Yeah, that's a clear as day. Tetropolis was very much in front. Very much making the corner. Oh, Monka's in the water. How did that happen? He got past Slavman down into the bus stop chicane here. There was obviously the incident with Tetropolis. Oh, and he got bounced. He got bounced off both the Alphas. Oh, that's unfortunate. Damage to the rear wheel as well. And Chuck Norris is saying thank you very much. All of a sudden, the incident for Chuck Norris in lap 1 may no longer be much of an issue because he's back into 11th. And he had the either 3 cars in front of him who are just unwilling to do actual racing. Oh, Andri, that is not the track. It's going to be Slavman to the inside, taking full advantage of everything Andri just did into turn 1, and Slavman is going to be like, yes, thank you very much, I'll take that. Put my Alfa Romeo in 8th, and he might not be in 8th much longer. He is going to get pushed on the way through. Andri is up into 8th now then after that turn 4. Oh, it's been absolute calamitous start. We're about half the grid here. Oh, Chuck has gone again! Oh, he just had too much fall down. He saw the opportunity against Monken and just too overzealous. Oh, he has cost himself dearly in this race as Chuck. Definitely has the pace, you can see it. We've got fighting all over the place at the front now as well. From Beaumont all the way back to Bluebeard. Bluebeard on the inside of Jin. It looks like he is going to be ahead of Jin. See if Jin's going to give him a little bit of help. Drew to the inside, or to the outside of Beaumont, and that's a move made up in front as well. Bluebeard is going to get some help from Jin in all of this. Jin, however, looking to the inside of turn 1, gets himself on the brake. Bluebeard very much didn't. And now Jin to the inside is going to get this one for a split second, because Bluebeard's going to send it here, or is he? Or is he just tagging along the grass? And then just not enough traction on the dirty tyres, and it'll drop him back behind Jin. Andrietta Monken, and you got Slabman and Temp. Those two are just driving off now. The 4 cars here. And then you've got a little bit further forward, Bendit not that far behind Major, and then J-Nick clear at the front of the grid right now. Very much taking advantage of the fighting behind. I'm not sure if there's going to be any sort of movement here then. Looks like Grew's got himself advantage. And yeah, he's not going to get caught up by Beaumont at all down into the bus stop chicane. Beaumont's going to be under fire here then down into turn 1. See Major coming across the bank in there. And Jin's got a penalty! Jin got a second penalty. Is it because he cut the inside? I think it must be that he cut this bus stop chicane. Whereabouts are we looking? Oh, yeah, not even close. Not even close. On the inside, on the outside, sorry, of the bus stop chicane there. He realistically just botched it. Enough to get himself a second penalty, and that will drop him the entire way out of slipstream here. He's got himself off the penalty marker before Bluebeard can even go by, but I think he is going to be out of range of Bluebeard by the time we hit turn 1. Medium starting to wear just a little bit on lap 9 of 23. Grew still ahead of Beaumont. He's still got Major behind Nick at the front of the grid as well. May Bendit not that far off the back of the Z4 in second. Fuel's going to play a massive part of this one sooner rather than later. Andrea is a country mile behind the top 7. So he's just going to drive on his own for a little while here then. Monken not even close to him either. Then Slapman in 10th. Duo 11th, and Chuck Norris is trying to fight his way back again. He is taking a far too shallow a line into that turn 6. He needs to widen it up so he can get into the corner. He is still right on the back of Juho for now. Then you got Buschetti, and then you got Tetropolis and Radiate at the back of the grid by quite some distance, actually. Wonder what is going to happen here then. Tetropolis very much off the back, so we'll go to the front. Doesn't really have much to it either. Is there any sort of battle on the grid right now? Grew comfortably ahead of Beaumont. Bluebeard did 9 laps on the softs. His softs were screaming at him at the end of it. Look at that front left. All but dead. He barely made it to the end here. He'll go onto his medium tyres to end off the race then. He'll do the 14 laps that he'd got to do on the medium tyres. I'd be very surprised if it isn't a medium tyre going on this Aston Martin right now. To the point where if it is a hard tyre, I think you might hear an audible head facepalm. It's got to be mediums, right? Yeah, it is mediums. I reckon it's going to be the same for Slabman as well, who both did 9 on their tyres there. We'll go mediums to the end. Chuck Norris is right on the back of Juho now. Right on the back of Juho. Almost looked too much to the inside there. He just cost himself enough time at the moment. He's got to find a wider line, not go for the moves if it's not perfectly on. And he may have won the first race, but he is coming from a long way back, from a hole of his own doing here in the feature. This may be a perfect time to try and overtake you. A couple of bumps down this straight. Couple of bumps and then into turn one. He's not going to bump him. He's going to try and go around the long way. I think he should have stayed in the slipstream. He should still be in slipstream. This is killing me. He's got alongside now. But again, I think he's still gone too early. He has very much gone too early. He's switching it back to the inside. And he gets himself along the grass. I think there may have been contact on the way through, but it won't matter. Because Juho has held it perfectly on the outside and held the position. You can tell Chuck Norris has got the pace. He's just a bit overzealous. Just a little bit too eager for a move that realistically he should wait for. He did it on that last lap. If he had waited a little while longer on Juho instead of trying it straight away, going now! I think that is contact between the two of them, and yep, Chuck Norris knows it. He lets Juho back on through. Alright then. These two still probably the closest battle we have on track. Monken not that far off the back of Andre anymore though. Very much in a better spot, better tyres the lot. And significantly better fuel here. We should get the Lamborghini here. When it comes to the pit stops anyway. You're going to do soft, you need to get to 14 at the very least. The Daytona is a rear tyre killer, so if you're on the MR, you probably need to go a lap longer than that. You probably need to get the 15. I'm not sure Andrew's got the tyre on that rear end to do so. He might be, I think he might end up going to hards. I don't really know if he's going to get that many more laps out of that rear right tyre. Very much the worst of the four. A lot worse than anything Monken's got in his car right now. And you can tell it's deep everywhere he goes. He is starting to feel the effects. And you just think the longer this goes, the worse it's going to get. Andre now under fire. Monken, the long way round, is ahead. I think Andre may have made a mistake or two. Monken up into 7th here. He's got a very much a bit of a run to try and clear himself from Andre here. Andre's in trouble with that rear tyre for certain. Jin still off the back of Beaumont and Gru, who have fought themselves so much that they have lost sight of Bendit in front of them. Bendit's actually caught up to the back of Major as well. We might see that battle for second sooner rather than later then. But we're already past the halfway point in this one. J-Nick has just never really been touched at all at any point, to be completely honest with you. He just got away, had people fight behind him, and said thank you very much. I don't really know what we've got in terms of fighting on the track right now. Look at seeing down the list. Oh, we got Monken and Andre again. Okay, let's go back to this then. I think there may have been a little bit of contact here through that last corner. Well, there definitely was. Definitely was between Andre and Monken. Monken is very wide up the hill here. He has dropped back behind Andre, the Greekman back up in the 7th. You know, the long way round down the straight. Monken's still there. He's letting him know he's still there. He's got a much better run down the straight now as Monken. And he's got himself back in front through the banking and the exit of the bus stop. But again, this might just be too early. And it looks like it might be. Andre on the inside here now, using all of the speed of the Lamborghini to try and take 7th place back. Janik is now into the pits. I wonder what the tyre he's going to is. After doing 13 on the medium tyres, in comes Andre as well. There was nothing left on that right rear at all. Looks like the Audi might be suffering from the same problem. This might be hard tyres. Either that or an extremely ambitious soften. It is hard tyres for the race leader. Well, this gets very interesting now then. Wonder if he's going to come out into any sort of traffic either. Does not look like it. J. Nick has actually come out ahead of the Juho fight with, I think that's Bichetti. It is Bichetti there, who is running out of fuel on the next lap. Going to mediums as well. That's a little bit deep down his hard tyres, that's for certain. Trying to get right up to the back of Juho as much as he can get. You see the race leader's already cleared them by the pit stop. A little bit further forward, Jin on the back of Beaumont now. Gru has got himself a significant advantage. Tyre's not really playing that much of a deal now. Beaumont is really under fire. Is Jin going to help him? Or is it pit time? It's pit time for one of them. In comes Beaumont. Completely out of fuel. That's going to become very interesting then. We'll see where Beaumont comes out in respect to Bichetti and Juho then. Juho must have had an issue. Juho must have had an issue there. Still ahead of Bichetti. All the way down. Is he out of fuel? He's out. I think he's out of fuel. Oh, I think Juho's out of fuel. He is. He's run out. Oh no, and he's been overtaken by Bichetti as a result. All three of them came in with 0% fuel left. But Juho has just lost a giant chunk of time. Andre is potentially going for the most ambitious soft stint in history. Beaumont coming out right behind Tetropolis, going to the inside straight away, but he is behind Bluebeard properly. I don't think Bluebeard's going to care too much about that. Beaumont is on softs, however. That'll be a fight sooner rather than later. We'll see whether or not there's... Well, he got past Tetropolis, but let's see if he can get right up to the back of Bluebeard. I don't know, it's go off in my headset, so I had to double check my mic real quick. But yeah, Bluebeard now being chased by Beaumont. Major is into the pits, he still had fuel to spare. Drew, however, did not. Jin did not as he comes into the pits. I don't think Monken's going to have very much to spare either here. Bendit has stayed out the extra lap here in the Lexus, and this is a race where realistically this Lexus should be the star player. It is a lot worse on its tyres, but its fuel economy is incredible. Jadek's already out the pits. Look at that! Substantial advantage. Major coming out now. Is he out ahead? He is out ahead of the group and ahead of Gru. And Gru is also out ahead of the group. So 1, 2, 3, all out as they were. Well, minus Bendit, who hasn't pit yet. Man, Bendit should fill into the gap between Major and Gru then. Bluebeard still ahead of Jin, who is now ahead of Beaumont. And on fresher tyres. So I reckon Bluebeard's about to tumble down the order just a little bit. After doing the reverse strategy of everyone else. Finding himself in a little bit of bother now. We'll see if there's going to be anything down the back straight here. Not sure if there's going to be anything in this one for Jin, the championship leader, looking to strengthen his position. Bendit now into the pits. Went 1 lap longer than everyone else. We'll have fresh tyres all the way to the end now for that on that Lexus. We'll see whether or not he's got enough in the tank to do anything with it. Bluebeard's got a second penalty. Jin's going to go the long way round. Jin is going to have the position here, regardless of the penalty. Bluebeard now takes his second penalty, and Beaumont is going to take full advantage of that. What about Andrew? He's too far back. Andrew is too far back at the front 7. Very much still in control. Bendit was third. Bendit is no longer third. Bendit's not even close. That is not good news for Bendit here. He's come out a long way back. Come out a long way back. Bluebeard and Beaumont here, side by side at the end for turn 5. Bluebeard has it back. For a split second, oh, Beaumont's just gone careening straight into the side of him. And Bluebeard has somehow stayed ahead. I think Beaumont may have lifted slightly. Either way, over-ambitious move again. Bluebeard snapping the car halfway through there. And Beaumont's on the outside already. I think Bluebeard in the Aston Martin got better acceleration. You should just drop down and take the slipstream. There should be a couple of bumps. You are still trying to go after Jin in 4th. He's going to go for it now. He is going to get it now. That is a good move for Beaumont. I'm not sure it's an aptly timed move, but it is a good move nonetheless. And he's got Bendit right behind him. Bendit might be looking on for a top 5 now then. Maybe stayed out a lap too long to make the undercut worth it, but I will see how his tyres look at the end here then, Bendit. See whether or not he should have gone in that lap early. Bluebeard right on the back of Beaumont, still not able to do anything. Bendit will probably start attacking Bluebeard sooner rather than later. We've got 6 laps left of the race. Nothing really going to happen now unless they make a move into turn 6. I don't really think that's going to be on for the medium tire driver somehow, but he's going to... He looked like for a split second from that camera angle, he might have been able to force a wheel in there, but thankfully he got out of it. That might be a little bit too deep. That might be a little bit too deep. That might open the door for Bandit here. Here's a good exit, however, for Aston Martin. The acceleration is absolutely insane. Bandit just too far off the back to really do anything right now, because Bluebeard has caught right up to the back of Beaumont. This might be the time for the move. If it's not coming from one, it might come from both. Here we go, Bendit's looking already. We're actually getting some bump drafts. Actually getting some bump drafts here between the three drivers. Bluebeard is absolutely using Beaumont to try and hold himself ahead of Bendit for now. Bendit dives to the inside and then backs out immediately. And Bluebeard may have gone a little bit too deep as a result, but he still kept it in and still holds on to the position. He's going to go the long way around on Beaumont here. I'd be very surprised if that stuck. And it didn't. Bluebeard trying again. This time again too far back to really make any moves on the Mercedes. If he keeps driving like that, however, he might open himself up for a move from Bandit, who looks straight to the inside to send it and careened straight into the side of the Aston Martin and has let him go. Bandit might be looking for a move here as well. After the last corner, they've lost time on Beaumont. Daytona, a track where you need to be looking ahead at the next person at every point. Bandit is up ahead of Bluebeard now, then into the bus stop chicane, and out of the bus stop chicane, he's cleared him. Bandit up into 6th. Got Beaumont in front of him. Beaumont's got a sizable gap. Bandit's got the sizably better tyres. So we will see how it's going to unfold here then on lap 20. The front not really got much to it. Very much focusing on this battle for now. We're actually going to go to this one. Three-way fight at the back of the field. 11th, 12th and 13th for Bruschetti, Tetropolis and Juho. Move on here for the Alfa Romeo down into turn 1 if he wants it. A little bit of contact between the two of them. Bruschetti into the wall. Tetropolis has gone very deep. Late apex, he's still ahead. Not entirely sure what happened there. Oh, look. Oh, he's come across the nose. Oh, he came straight across the nose of Tetropolis there. Well, Tetropolis isn't going to complain, gets the position. Probably about as best as he could hope for right now, unless we get a spin or two further forward. Chuck Norris is in 10th. He's definitely in no man's land right now as he tries to chase down Monken again. Monken not close enough to Andrea. Oh, look at this. Yeah. One thing's for certain, I think that was a slightly over-ambitious soft tyre choice. Ever so slightly ambitious. To the point where if you need to pit now, you don't have a choice at all. You are not making the end of this race. He's going to run out of tyre. Andrea is definitely going to run out of tyre here. and it's not close. Don't forget the puncture effect in GT just makes you essentially just about 7 seconds a lap slower than you were prior. Oh, by here comes Andre into turn 1, still ahead for now. He hasn't pit, however. He is gonna struggle, and there it is. The tires have kicked in. He is basically nothing left on that rear right. He is in a lot of trouble now. Looks like that's just going to be unfortunate boundary, to be honest with you. Oh, he got again! He got again! This time he catapulted himself off the track. He already had damage to the front bumper, and this time he's just trying to take it too quickly. Yep, and you've got no rear tyre at all. And as soon as you get on the throttle, bye-bye. Never surviving that. Not going to survive this either. Yeah, he could not have made a worse decision if he tried. Could not have made a worse decision to go on the softs. That's unbelievably ambitious. And it has backfired. Miserably. And he got again! This time he's caught the front of Bichetti as well. And Tetropolis is going to say thank you very much. And yeah, Andrew's ending last. I don't even think he's going to get to the end of the lap at this rate. Nothing on the rear. He just had no control over the car at all. Tetropolis, Bichetti almost coming together there into the bus stop chicane. The American trying to get involved, trying to get moved back into the top 10. Now this I understand, because you have 22 laps left. There is no way you're catching the person in front, so fighting now is reasonable. Duo behind will probably hope they continue fighting, because that means the third man in the train will have the advantage. Bichetti, Tetropolis in front, side by side, down towards turn 1. Bichetti looking for a switchback. Tetropolis has the line. Tetropolis has been pushed off the track and stayed on and tagged Bichetti back, I think. Or we just seen a dummy. Which one is it? There is a little bit of contact between the two, but I think Bichetti dummied him anyway, because there's a fight back with the contact. Oh, and he span him. Oh, he span him. It's over-ambitious from Tetropolis in the first place, but you've got to avoid doing that if you're Bichetti. Bichetti is right on there. Oh, he almost lost the car again. On lap 22, Duo almost trying to steal a top 10. So Chuck Norris is now in 9th, Monken in front of him. Needs to be struggling, but not enough to be caught by the Ferrari right now. The Ferrari probably actually quicker on track than most people at this point in time. So Belmont's in 7th. His tyres are barely going to reach the end. Then you've got Bluebeard, who's in a far better place tyre-wise. Same with Bendit. You've got Jin. Grood's right rear might become a problem on this lap. So he's going to have to nurse this through. Jin is not going to let him do that, however, for the podium here. We'll see if there's going to be anything in this for the Jaguar to try and steal a podium right at the depth. Either way, this has been a one-way traffic at the front. I don't think Major has complained either, because he's been in second the entire race. One thing's assured, the person who's winning this one is definitely not going to complain, because he literally hasn't seen another person in 20 laps. Tetropolis is down to 12th. Duo got right onto the back of Bichetti. We'll come back to that in a second. Slapman's in the wall. Andre's forgotten that there is impact to track. You have to drive on the wall. It's not what you're meant to be doing. We go round the final corner now with the Audi. Medium hard. Not the optimal strategy by any means. But it doesn't matter if you've got the optimal strategy if everyone else doesn't like each other. And that's exactly what happened in this race. He got away and he capitalizes to win the feature at Daytona in the Audi Dojanic. Wins it for Major in second, and Gru is going to hold on for third. Jin in fourth. Bandit in fifth. Bluebeard in sixth here. Beaumont just lost himself so much time fighting for no reason. In seventh. Monken in eighth. Chuck Norris has got himself into the top 10 after a calamitous start where he got too much traction and put himself in a wall twice because of it. Big Bichetti is going to round out the top 10. He's going to survive. The two behind him in the end. There's a penalty for Slabman in the back, for Tetropolis in the background, sorry, yeah, and Bichetti will end 10th. Duo 11th. Tetropolis 12th. Radiate's going to come up over 13th. And then you've got Slabman in 14th. And then the man with the overambitious strategy rearing the field. 10 laps on softs. I don't think anyone on the grid got 10 laps on softs. That was a painfully bad call. And there you go with the Lamborghini over the line. Oh, Jin. Very much in control of the championship up to this point then. Let's go and find the standings before I end off the stream here. Where is the Daytona Stewards? There it is. So we've got Jin on 114, 36 up on Bendit in second on 78. Then you've got Beaumont on 74, Darlow on 71 and doesn't race anymore. And then you've got Major on 67, Ads on 65, Orak on 62. Everyone else really tailing off the back of Jim right now. And Lexus on 143, Jaguar 138, AMG 124 in the Constructors' Championship. You know, Audi on 120 and BMW M6 on 118. All five of those guys could still realistically mount a title charge for the Constructors' Championship. Everyone else is going to lag a little bit behind. With that being said, we're at the halfway point of the season in terms of comps. I've got 3 more to do to catch up with real life. Which hopefully is done by the end of the week. With that being said, I will see you guys maybe not on this channel in an hour and a half, but for Champions Cup stuff on Iggy's channel, that'll be shared in chat and everything later on. In about an hour and a half time, maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe about 2.5 hour time actually. It's when we'll go live for that, but until then, I will see you guys later. Peace.